Hello and welcome to the Monster Energy 200 at Minnesota Raceway in Duluth, Minnesota. A packed house here for a great race as we have 3 races remaining in the Season 8 season. It's going to get intense here as playoff contenders are lined up front and ready to do battle here in Minnesota. You got Kyle Larson, Dale Jr. up front. There's Carter Adelman. Brad Keselowski's in the playoff hunt. And then Chase Elliott. Very poor starting position here in the field today. He's got a lot of ground to make up. You got Kenseth up front, and the top 3 are all playoff contenders. Let's check out your drivers to watch for. Kyle Busch had a rough week last week. 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. Looks to rebound here at Minnesota. He starts 3rd today in that Snickers Toyota Camry. Carl Edwards looking for his last win this season. He's got one at Indianapolis, but would like to get one more before he calls it quits. Denny Hamlin sitting on the pole today. He's got a good Toyota Camry. Look for him to do battle up front here with Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. And then Chase Elliott had a very poor qualifying position, but the car is decent, he says. They look forward to moving up through the field. Now here's your points after Chicagoland. Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Dale Jr. all moving on to Homestead at this point. Kyle Larson just 2 points behind. Kenseth 5 points. Hamlin 9 points, and then Kyle Busch has got a long ways to go. He's 15 points behind. Drivers, start your engines. The cars fire up here in Duluth, and we are ready to go racing. This is not the only track in Duluth, by the way, if you watch the Coke Zero Cup Series. And then in row 1, we have Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. They're best friends. We know that in Sprint Cup history past. Row 2 was Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards, I think. McMurray and Kenseth in row 3. I missed row 4. Row 5, Dale Jr. and Casey Kane. I'm off to a great start. The Minnesota man in row 6 next to Joey Logano, Ty Dillon, and Brad Keselowski in row 7. Row 8 is Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott. Clint Boyer and Trevor Bayne in row 9. AJ Allmendinger and Jimmy Johnson in row 10. Bryce Harvey and Eric Jones in row 11. And in row 12, we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Paul Menard. And in row 13, Austin Dillon and Ryan Newman. Row 14, Jimmy Alanya and Gino Harvey, making his first start this season since Colin. Row 15, Logan McDaniel and Ryan Blaney. Chris Buescher and Eric Almirola in row 16. And in row 17, we have Matt DiBenedetto and Landon Castle. Row 18 is Danica Patrick and Jeffrey Earnhardt. The green flag is in the air for race 2 of round 2. Minnesota is on its way, and wow, we have a piled-up start here. 4 wide coming off of turn 2. Denny Hamlin did not get the start he wanted, and Kevin Harvick took off with the race lead. Looks like Denny Hamlin's trying to get back by Kevin Harvick. Harvick's going to swing it out to get a good run. Oh, he gets hit from behind by Denny Hamlin. He gives it back to him through 5 and 6. And Martin Truex Jr. is going to take the lead through this chaos as Harvick and Hamlin beat and bang. Oh, they hit each other into turn 1. Off of 2. We got them going down all the way into 3. And Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick crash here. Wow, watch this Denny Hamlin. He was not happy with Kevin Harvick. He swings his car in anger, and then he just gets hooked there. It didn't look like that last part was intentional. He just got hooked on Harvick's fender and got hit into the wall really hard. Hamlin has a lot of nose damage. So does Kevin Harvick. Now, right there is where Hamlin gets into Kevin Harvick. May not have been intentional, but this was right here. Harvick gets right back into him, sends him up the track, and then here comes Martin Truex Jr. He's going to split him 3 wide off of turn 4. And then just watch this. Oh, yeah. Harvick definitely came down on Hamlin there. Hamlin didn't like that. You see, now he's got a tire down, and then he just gets hooked right there. That's where he gets hooked on Harvick's fender. Really tore Harvick's front nose up there. But Kevin Harvick, he's going to elect to stay out with all the damage on his nose. He's got to do it. He's in the green coming in today, but if he loses a lot of ground, it could be disastrous. And right there, the restart. He's slow on the restart, and he piles them up in turn 1 and 2. Big crash into turn 1 and 2. A lot of cars. Luckily, we're not up to full speed. They were able to get slowed down in time. The red flag has definitely been displayed as Kevin Harvick just piled up the field. Watch as he just did not get going there. Kyle Busch is going to skate by. Watch, he make contact with Kyle Busch there. Up into Carter Adelman and Joey Logano. Dale Jr. skates by. Kurt Busch involved. There's McMurray. Clint Boyer was in this as well. Just Kyle Larson had nowhere to go. Larson's got some nose damage now. That might affect his car. And just a big pile up there. Brad Keselowski's in the crash as well. That's big news for Keselowski. Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin all having troubles here. Your playoff contenders. Not looking good. Carter Adams got to be devastated with that crash as well. Wanted to look good in front of the home crowd. Keselowski's got some minor damage. He's going to try and get that fixed up and make up as many positions as he can here in, I believe, the last 6 laps or so. So the cleanup is done. It's Carl Edwards and Martin Truex Jr. up front. The green flag is out once again. It's like Edwards gets a good start. There's Casey Kane running up front as well. Casey Kane has a win this season. Can he get number 2 on the year today? But Carl Edwards skating out in front. Kyle Busch with some of that damage from that crash. He stays out. He's running in the 3rd position, going for 2nd on Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Busch is going to get that done here as they go down the backstretch. Here comes Matt Kenseth having a nice day here in Minnesota. There's Chase Elliott. He started deep in the field. Looks like he is having problems today, but he's slowly making his way. There's Brad Keselowski making his way through the field as well. So Matt Kenseth moves up to 3rd now. We got a JGR 1-2-3 here in Minnesota. Dale Jr. goes up the track and gets into Kyle Larson. Larson, while he's losing positions, here comes Jimmy Johnson trying to get by him. Jimmy Johnson's going to make it 3 wide. Oh, Stenhouse gets into Larson. They're both in the wall. Here comes Chase Elliott skating by Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney looking to the inside, last week's winner. Kyle Larson losing plenty of positions here as we have 2 laps to go in Minnesota. The battle up front is on. It's Kyle Busch trying to advance to Homestead. Can he get by Carl Edwards? But Edwards is skating away, but Martin Truex Jr. running there in 3rd, Kenseth in 4th. Dale Jr. makes it into the top 5 as he passes his teammate Casey Kane. The white flag is in the air. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. looking to the inside of Kyle Busch. He gets into him. Man, Truex really drove it in there. And he's going to drive it into turn 5. Oh, and he gets into Edwards. Edwards spins out. Truex into the wall. Here comes Matt Kenseth to win it. Matt Kenseth, what a comeback victory. And just a bunch of chaos on the last lap as well. Martin Truex Jr. drove like a maniac, trying to get a win on the season. And he gets into Carl Edwards. Edwards is devastated. What on earth? Martin Truex Jr., what did you just do? Look, he just drives it in there. No brakes. The brakes aren't working on the 78. Now watch Kyle Busch try to go for the lead. Truex goes to block, gets into the inside wall, and just a perfect storm for Matt Kenseth to skate through there. Perfect hole, and he fit right into it. And right there it is. Watch as Truex goes to block as Edwards is spinning in. And right there, Kyle Busch gets into the inside wall as well. That really slowed up Kyle Busch. And Matt Kenseth will take the win, and he advances to Homestead. What chaos this was, this race. A very entertaining race here, with just 3 races remaining in Season 8. And Kenseth gets to breathe easily as he prepares for Homestead. Now you're going to check out your point standings here. Matt Kenseth advances. Dale Jr. had a good day. He's 13 points to the good. Chase Elliott started the worst of the playoff contenders. Now he's 12 points to the good after a lot of cars wrecked today. But there's Keselowski. He's just 5 points out. Kyle Busch battles back from 15 points out to be 2 points out. Denny Hamlin really fell back today. He's 30 points out. And Kevin Harvick is 12 points out heading into Richmond. So it's going to be an entertaining race. A lot on the line here. Carl Edwards is 9th in the standings after devastatingly getting crashed in the last lap. Carter Adam McMurray, Logano, Austin Dillon is 13th. Truex is 14th there. Jimmy Johnson is 15th in the standings. There's Eric Jones. He was up front, up in mid-pack today. We saw him pass Kyle Larson as Larson got put into the wall by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And that was just chaos as well. Kyle Larson lost a lot of positions today, and that really hurt him as now he is just 2 points out of the chase in the playoffs here, heading into Richmond. It's really going to hurt him. Or maybe he's 5 points out. I can't remember. But yeah, it's going to be crazy for Kyle Larson. So now your finishing results here in Minnesota. A crazy day it was. Matt Kenseth gets the win miraculously and advances to Homestead. Kyle Busch had a shot to win it there, but Truex blocked him. But Kyle Busch has got to be happy with the day. He made up a lot of points. Was 15 points out. Now he's up there. And Dale Jr. gets a nice top 5. He finishes 4th. Casey Kane finished 5th today. And Trevor Bayne, good finish by him. Allmendinger, another good finish. He gets 7th. There's Chase Elliott getting a nice top 10. He's looking good heading into Richmond. Can he make it to Homestead in his rookie season? 9th is Jimmy Johnson. And 10th is Ryan Blaney. There's Eric Jones in 11th today. And then Bryce Harvey finishes 12th in the Monster Energy 200. 13th was Kyle Larson, and then finishing 14th was Paul Menard. And 15th today was Ryan Newman, finishing 16th. There he is, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And I can't believe, I find it hard to believe that Kyle Larson is going to be happy with Stenhouse because he lost a lot of positions thanks to him. And then Jimmy Lanya finishes 20th today. There's Brad Keselowski rallying to finish 21st. He's lucky a lot of cars crashed today too. That helped him stay in the championship hunt. There's 23rd. 24th was Chris Buescher. 25th is Jeffrey Earnhardt. And the 26th was Ty Dillon. And now that I remember right, Kyle Larson is in the playoffs as of right now, but I think he's just 2 points to the good over Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski is 5 points out. Harvick is 12. And then Denny Hamlin is 30 points out. It's going to be a big fight here as there's Kevin Harvick finishing 31st today. He's 12 points out. He's going to have a great day at Richmond if he wants to advance. And he might even have to win. Denny Hamlin definitely has to win at Richmond to advance. He finished dead last today, so that was a big bad day for Denny Hamlin. So next race, we head to Richmond. Thank you everybody for watching. This is JT24, J26, signing out.